So it's Tuesday night, it's old dark 30, and I'm out here scoping things out. I went in the house and sat in the chair a while, but then I said I better come out here. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fix this rust, and I think I've hit upon my plan. I got a piece of 18 gauge here. I put it in my little planishing hammer and pretty quickly whipped that piece out, which seems to fit fairly well. I got a little too much curve in it. I may do that piece again, but I'm just trying to test. And then this piece comes down and bends this way and sets on top of that drip rail. I think what I gotta do is take the drip rail out so I can access this properly. I've also got to make sure I got enough room here so I can get a dolly behind it, like so. Because I'm gonna have to hammer this. This is gonna be kind of tricky. This is a big panel. Mess this up, you're gonna have it all warped up. It's gonna be a nightmare. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna gas weld it or MIG weld it. But one thing about it, it's gonna be one or the other. So anyway, I think I gotta remove the drip rail. I'm gonna cut it right about there, and I'm just gonna take the air chisel and beat it off there. And I've duplicated another. This is 20 gauge, I think. I folded it over and then folded it again and hammered it flat. It's too narrow right there. I was just experimenting. So that's a throwaway piece, but I think I can make a new one easy enough. Maybe in 2 pieces. So it'll be, put this in, weld it, drip rail after. I saw some guy on, I think it was on the Ham. He did it. He did a meticulous job. Butt welded everything. This piece was all rotted out. He redid that, duplicated almost exactly. I mean, a really fantastic job. I'm not going to go to that level, but I'm going to try to do as good as I can. Within reason, you know. This is a 4-door rust bucket. Alright, it's Saturday, darn near lunchtime. I've been doing stuff, but I think now I'm in the mood to do some rust repair. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is cover up this glass with something, because I'll be doing a little grinding and welding right here. And then I think I'm going to cut this drip rail off. I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how it goes here. I'm going to get my driver's and passenger seat out of there too, so I don't mess them up. Well, I'm going to work on it if I can ever get to it. Trying to sell stuff is a hassle. Is this available? Is this available? Will you trade? You know, I guess you never know unless you ask, so that's why they ask. But anyway, I'm going to quit griping. You know, it doesn't help to gripe. Sometimes you just got to shut up and go to work. So that's what I'm going to do. Here's my favorite question so far. How far are you from Texas? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, dude. Where in Texas are you at? Texas is a big old spot, last I knew. Alright, here's what I come up with. Turns out I was wrong. I don't want to cut this drip rail off because it wraps up under there. So I'm going to have to weld up what I cut there, and then I'm going to try to just weld it down in there, which is not an ideal situation, and butt weld it here. But I think that's a decent looking patch. So, and I'm going to MIG it, I think, instead of gas welding it, because I think the gas welding is going to put too much heat in this big expanse and give me a problem. And you know, I got enough problems. Alright, let me tell you a couple things. One, I've been going around looking for my safety glasses. Couldn't find them nowhere. And I just slung them on the floor and scratched them up because when I took my hat off, they were up there. And then the other thing is I had to buy a new charger. I've got this camcorder and I couldn't find the charger for it. I've had that camcorder for a couple of years and I ain't never used it much, but I was going to use it for the mountain trip. But today while I was getting the wire wheels, I looked over here and said, hey, there's the charger, and it's got a charged up battery too. This is a story of my life. Alright, I'm going to shut up now and go to welding. Alright, let me see if I can find something to pry with. Here we go. I done cut it. I didn't do too good right there, did I? That's okay. Let's see what we see under this mess. Oh, ain't that nice? Rust. Alright. I guess I knew it. I shouldn't act surprised, should I? Go find my vacuum cleaner. Alright, I got my second piece in. I'm kind of proud of myself. Well, I mean, I'm sure it could be done better, but that's pretty darn good. At least in my world. A little hammer and dolly work might straighten her out just a skosh more, but it's pretty good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go here because I took my little hammer here. See there, it ain't hard to go through. So let's well do it, I guess. And I gotta do this corner right here. Oh, and I sold that Mustang, so that's good. That's good. That's good. If I didn't have so many kids to sponsor, I might buy myself a 55 Chevy. Well, as Whalen Wire says, this is a revolting development. I think we're going to have to take the back glass out. Because I'm sure that's in the channel. Yeah, see, that's right where the stainless is. That means the back glass probably leaked if I don't fix that. So, you know, just one more thing. I mean, that's all. That's all it is. One more thing. So the good news is, I'm that much done. I think before I quit, I'm going to go ahead and cut out some of this. It seemed to quit denting right about there, so I'm going to cut it out there and see what it looks like. Alright, it's Sunday. Kind of late. It's pretty nice in here, 72, but it's warm and humid out there. And this is November, early November. I think I'm going to do a little more on this. Somebody asked me on Instagram, was it oil cannon? I ain't had that trouble yet. But I might. I think the secret is you got to keep hammering the weld. Because when you weld, it shrinks. You stick a dolly behind it. And I've been using this high crown hammer. Just hammer that weld and it stretches back out and everything's pretty good. Where I couldn't get a dolly in real good, it's not quite as good of a job, like right there. So now this isn't going to be one of them repairs where you don't have to use Bondo like you see on TV, because I'm going to have to use Bondo. But I'm okay with that. I think what I need to do next probably is take out this back window. Alright, here's episode 397 of the surprise I have found. Pretty funny, ain't it? Lurking below some, you know, tar, something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's look over here on the other side. Probably there ain't nothing like that over there, is it? What could it be? What's this? That looks like aluminum foil is what that looks like. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, and my favorite. Steel wool. Or actually, that looks like a Brillo pad. And duct tape. What else is up in there? Yeah. Probably I'll have a repair there too. What do you think? Alright, I told myself a while ago I wasn't really feeling it and I didn't think I'd work on this. But then I said, well, let me go ahead and make that patch. So I done it. I don't know if I'm going to weld it in. Let's see. Let's see what happens. The boy's out there maybe messing with that Suburban a little bit. I might go help him. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright, went and had myself a sandwich. You know, it's time change day today. I don't really know why they do that. I read something somewhere that said that's where an Indian said you cut the top off a blanket and put it on the bottom and hope the blanket's longer. That's the best. That's the best. What's the word am I looking for? Analogy that I can think of. Actually, I didn't think of it. Anyway, I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and weld this in. And then I'll call it a day. Time change, messing with my head. Probably mean I'll have to relearn my sleep habits. Well, Grandpa did hammer something in there and put some all metal in it, didn't he? Yeah. You know, I recall him calling me, and for some reason he thinks I'm a genius. I guess I got him fooled, don't I? But he called me asking me, he said he had one little spot in his car where it was rusted through, and I remember him asking me about it. I said, well, really should cut it out and weld it, but you might be able to clean it up real good and put some all metal in it and be alright. So, you know, it looks like that's what he done. That's what he done. Alright, I'm going to quit yapping and I'm going to weld this in, and then I think I'll call it a day. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Let's get back and look, shall we, folks? I don't think that's too bad. I think it's okay. I ran into some decent metal finally up here, which is almost at the front. Now, the next thing is rebuild all this and the other side. And that. And then we'll just have to see what happens here. Really need to get that done so that I can go to some fun stuff. I need to put this motor in. I gotta do that. It's driving me crazy. Alright, that's all I'm gonna do today. Maybe I'll make some more videos. Maybe I won't about this rust. It's kind of a pain.